Hello people, welcome back to the Redundancy Crusader Talks To. This is turning into a bit of a mini-series because today I'm talking to Annabel Kaye, who is an employment law specialist, and today we're talking about the method that employers need to use when they have to make people redundant. So Annabel, what's your take on this tricky subject?
It's only human nature when you have to think about redundancy as a boss to shy away from how am I going to choose. Some of us prefer to keep the people we feel most comfortable with, and we find it quite difficult to arrive at objective criteria for choosing them. But certainly in legal terms and in terms of organisation effectiveness, the ideal system is to arrive at a method of picking people, apply the method, and then as a result the people who are at risk of redundancy become plain.
Okay.
It can be extremely difficult to get managers to think that way because quite often they're in a fog. So they know they need 20% less people, and if you talk to them they'll say, well, we therefore need to lose the 20% who are not as good. And you go, that's brilliant.
Okay.
How are we defining good? And you can be gone a very long time there, depending on how effective the managers are at thinking and how efficient the performance management and recording systems are for the organisation. And indeed how relevant. Because sometimes you find out for the very first time when you get close to managers that how they rate their people has got absolutely nothing to do with the performance management system in the organisation whatsoever, which is pretty unfortunate and sometimes explains why we need to readjust on the scale that we do. So it's very difficult for them, but it's absolutely critical because without that, when somebody says, why me, what's your answer? Oh, no idea, but Fred seemed more friendly than you. This is not a good explanation. Never mind the risks of discrimination and unfair dismissal that go with it. But managers find this incredibly hard, and they often look to HR to impose a method, which may or may not be appropriate, in the honest hope that if HR do it all and it turns out badly, they can complain about it and it's not anything they did. It looks a bit cynical, but there is often an element of that.
Yes.
And at the same time, HR is seeking to impose a method which is both compliant, documentable and safe.
Okay.
So they will readily rush into that gap with let's pick everybody by these criteria. The managers will often feel that's deeply inappropriate, say nothing, and then walk into that consultation exercise with a it's not my bad, I didn't do this kind of story.
Okay, so effectively we're ending up with what's a recipe for disaster that nobody wants to own.
Yes, and taking the time to do that bit appropriately is a lot of work, and it's very difficult if you've got someone saying, look, we want redundancies by next Friday.
So it's no wonder then, is it, that it goes wrong so often?
Well, you wouldn't do it with a product launch, would you? People spend millions on launching new products and services, they test them, they get consumer feedback, they do advertising. Then you turn to the staff side and you go, well, we structure the organisation and Friday lunchtime any good? You wouldn't run any other area of the business like that, would you?
No.
And if you did, it wouldn't be much of a business.
No, and I'm aware that I'm laughing, but it's actually no laughing matter. Annabel Kaye, thank you very much.